Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start with the poem Wind, which is written by Subramanya Bharati. The poet Subramanya Bharati has written this poem in Tamil, and it was translated in English by A.K. Ramanujan. Now let us talk about the poet. Chandraswami Subramanya Bharati is also known as Bhartiyar. He was born on 11 December 1882 and died on 12 September 1921. He was a Tamil writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, and a social reformer from Tamil Nadu. He was popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all times. His numerous works include fairy songs, kindling patriotism during the Indian independence movement. Subramanya Bharati has drawn the living picture of wind, which makes fun of weak people or things. The poet teaches us how we should stand against our oppressors. Wind. Wind is one of the 5 elements of nature. And here the wind has been personified in the poem that describes the power of wind on nature and human life. This poem focuses on the violent aspects of wind that causes destruction. The fierce wind is also seen by the poet as a symbol of adversities in life. He says that while the weak people break down, having failed to cope with difficult times, the stronger ones endure and emerge victorious. The poem gives an important message that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardships of life. The poem Wind is an example of modern poetry written in free verse. Now let us begin with the poem. Wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the pages, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Now, poking fun. Poking fun means making fun. Okay. And weaklings means weak people. So here the poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. Wind, come softly. So here the poet is asking the wind to come softly. So he's saying that the wind should not be very strong, loud. It should be soft and subtle. Then he says that wind is very powerful in it is destructive. It breaks the shutters of windows and scatters the papers. So when the wind is powerful, all the books which are kept on the shelf fall down. So here the poet is describing the power of wind. He says to the wind to look at the destruction that it had done. Whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, they all get scared and they can even fall and get hurt. Now you all know very well how much destruction is caused by the wind. Already we have seen the destruction caused by Fayan and the other which came recently, isn't it? When it blows, when there is a strong wind, everything is destroyed. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. Now the frail means weak. Meaning of the word crumbling, that is falling apart. Okay. Means everything falls apart and it breaks down. Now rafter means sloping beam which supports the roof of the building. You must have observed at the roof, at the top of the building, there is a sloping beam and that beam supports the roof. So here the poet has used the word crumbling again and again. The word crumbling is repeated many times to lay stress that everything crumbles in the force of a strong wind. Everything falls down due to strong wind. So the poet is saying that when wind is very powerful, it is very strong, it leads to breakage of everything. Houses which are weak, frail, they fall. Doors which are weak, they fall. The beams on which the roof of the buildings are supported, they also fall. All the wooden structures fall. All bodies of people fall, animals, lives, hearts. So he's saying that everything crumbles, everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. The wind causes damage to both property and life. So the poet says that the wind makes fun of the weak people. He is mischievous and plays with those who are very weak, meek and mild to combat his power. So in this strong wind, It destroys everything. It crushes everything that is weak. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Now, winnows means to separate. Actually, winnowing is a process of separating the husk from the grain with the help of wind. So, here winnow means to separate. Now, here in this line, the poet is addressing wind as a god. It refers to the wind as God, and he is saying that the powerful God of wind winnows. That means he sifts all the people, he separates all the people, and those people who are weak fall down and get crushed. So, as winnowing is the process of separating grains from the husk, similarly here the poet says that in the same way the God winnows, the God separates the people, those who are weak and those who are strong. So, the people, those who are weak, they get crushed. So, here there is a comparison made between the wheat and people. Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from chaff or husk, the wind god separates the people from strong people from weak people. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. And after separating the weak and the strong people, the wind god destroys the weak. Here wind symbolizes the adversities and challenges one faces in life. He won't do what you tell him, so come, let's build a strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Now, in these lines, the poet gives the suggestions. Now, here he wants us to make friends with the wind. That is the adversities in our lives. The poet wants that we should make friends with the adversities in our life. He says that the problems will not listen to us. Like here in the first lines, we have seen that the wind doesn't listen. The poet tells the wind to blow softly, but it doesn't listen. Similarly, the adversities in our life, they will not listen to us. They will come, and so we should be prepared. So we have to be well prepared. So in preparation, what we should do, we should build strong homes and close the doors of the houses firmly so that the wind cannot enter. And then the poet says that we should also make our bodies strong and hearts firm. Steadfast means firm. So we should make our heart firm to face these challenges. Whatever challenges the life throws on us, we should face these challenges. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like friends. We will not feel that they are troublesome because we will be strong enough to face these challenges. So they will not seem to be troublesome. We must train our bodies and our hearts to resist the ill effects of the wind. Only then shall we no longer consider the wind as enemy. Instead, the wind will invite us to become his friend, and we should be able to fearlessly accept his invitation. Now, see this, when the people are weak, the wind destroys everything. But when the people become strong, wind can be our friend. Like with the help of modern technology, we can use this wind in the form of wind energy. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Now, here the poet explains that the wind can only extinguish the weak fire, while it intensifies the strong ones. For example, the weak fire, like the fire of the candle, so it blows off when the wind blows. But the forest fire, which is the strong fire, it does not get extinguished due to wind. So wind cannot do anything for the strong fire. Similarly, the adversities deter the faint-hearted but makes them stronger who have a very strong will. The poet is comparing the wind to God. And he says that wind is a god and we praise wind every day. He says that everything that is weak, it gets finished in the face of strong wind. But the things that are strong, they flourish and grow to become stronger. Here, the poet is giving us a very important message that we should not feel bad that we are facing so many challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges. And once we are strong enough, we will overcome the challenges, we will become friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life because they help us become stronger and better. So I hope you have understood this poem, Wind. Now let us see the theme of the poem. The main theme of the poem is the enormous power of wind in the world and how it has the potential of being both a destroyer and a creator. The weak and fragile cannot withstand its fury, while the strong can use it to their advantage. The same is true of the adversities of life. Those who are weak easily break down, and those who are strong take them in their stride and come out stronger. Therefore, our attitude to life and its trials and tribulations determines our response to them. The poem inspires us to face the challenges and hardships with courage, grit, and determination. The message we learn from this poem is that we must be physically strong and mentally tough in order to survive the hardships of life. A feeble person, a weak person will break down, unable to cope up with the stress and strain, just like any weak structure that crumbles down in severe windstorm. Here, the poem inspires us to be fearless. We have to be fearless and face the challenges and hardships with courage and determination. See, there is no death of people who have touched the pinnacle of success, overcoming immense challenges in life. There are so many people who have overcome the challenges and they have reached the pinnacle of success, like Masudur Rahman Baidya was the first physically challenged Asian swimmer to cross English Channel in 1997. Then Evelyn Glemis, world's premier solo percussionist who feels music but cannot hear it. She has a hearing impairment. Then Mariyappan Thangavelu, he represented India in 2016 Summer Paralympics Games and won the gold medal in the finals. Today also the entire world is shaken up due to the coronavirus. So we should not lose heart and give up. See, remember children, every cloud has a silver lining. So this pandemic too shall pass, as no storms can last forever. So here I would like to end the poem with the lines, "Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday." So someday we shall overcome with this coronavirus as well. Thank you.